Have you ever just stopped and thought about how the internet really works? You click a link and boom, a website from the other side of the planet just appears. It honestly feels like magic. But here's the thing, it's not. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that magic and show you the incredible, very real physical system that powers our entire digital world.
So, just to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this thing, let's just pause for a second. Let's look at what happens in just 1 single minute online.
Get this. In the time it takes you to decide what to watch next, over 6.3 million Google searches are happening. That's millions of people asking questions, getting curious, and finding answers every 60 seconds.
And at the exact same time, our economy is churning online. We're talking nearly $500,000 being spent on Amazon. Again, that's every single minute.
And of course, what are we all doing? We're watching videos. In that same minute, the world is streaming over 5 million YouTube videos. It's just mind-boggling.
And all of that is happening while a massive wave of communication is flying around. Over 230 million emails are sent, connecting all of us for work, for fun, for everything.
When you see those numbers, it's pretty clear, right? The internet isn't just some fun tool. It is the absolute backbone of our economy and really our whole society. So, what is this thing? How does it all actually connect?
Well, to really get it, we've got to bust a huge myth first. Probably the biggest misconception there is about the internet.
You know the term, right? The cloud? We say it all the time. It makes it sound like our data is just floating up in the sky. It's this abstract, weightless, fluffy thing. But that could not be more wrong. The truth? It's actually way more down to earth, literally. The cloud is a very real, very physical thing. It's a massive, tangled web of fiber optic cables buried under the oceans, it's the satellite links beaming to our phones, and it's the boring old copper wires inside our walls. It is absolutely real.
And this brings us to what is maybe the coolest thing about the internet. Nobody owns it. No single company, no one person, no single government controls the whole thing. It's decentralized, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a network of networks. That's what makes it so tough. If one part breaks, the data just finds another way to get where it's going.
So, who is in charge? Well, everybody and nobody. It's this giant, messy collaboration. You've got organizations like ICANN that set the basic rules of the road. You've got companies like AT&T that lay the actual physical cables. You have giants like Amazon and Microsoft that run the huge data centers. And then you have the content providers like Google and Netflix. Oh, and of course, governments and billions of us, the users, all playing our part.
Okay, so you've got this gigantic, sprawling web with billions of things connected to it. How on earth does your computer find the one specific server it's looking for in all that chaos?
It all starts with something you do 1,000,000 times a day without even thinking about it. Typing in a URL, a web address. But here's the cool part. Computers don't actually speak in names like Google.com, they speak in numbers. So your browser uses something called the DNS, or the Domain Name System. The easiest way to think about it is that the DNS is the internet's giant phone book. Your browser asks it, hey, what's the number for this name? And the DNS server looks it up and sends back the numerical IP address. Now your browser knows exactly which computer to talk.
All right, so your browser found the right address and connected to the server. What happens next? How does a blank screen turn into a full interactive web page?
It's all based on a really simple model called client-server. It's basically like ordering food. Your device, your phone, your laptop, that's the client. It sends out a request, like telling a waiter what you want. And somewhere out there, a super powerful computer, the server, gets that order and sends all the data for the website, the text, the images, all of it, right back to you. Now, to handle all that back and forth, most businesses don't build their websites from the ground up anymore. They use something called a content management system, or a CMS. It's just software that helps them create and manage their site without needing to be a programming genius.
And this right here leads us to a massive strategic choice that every single business has to make today.
I mean, if you're a company and you need all this tech, servers, software, all of it, why not just buy it all yourself? Build your own data center, hire your own experts, and run the whole shebang in-house.
Well, it really just boils down to one simple idea. Do what you're good at. It's called IT sourcing. Think about it. If you run a coffee shop, your job is to make amazing coffee, not to become an expert in managing complex computer networks. So it's way smarter to just rent that expertise from companies that specialize in it. And that, my friends, is the big idea behind cloud computing.
In this renting idea, it's not one size fits all.
Think of it like ordering pizza. You've got a few options. First, there's Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. That's like the provider giving you the oven, the flour, the cheese, all the raw ingredients. You still have to put it all together and bake the pizza yourself. Then there's Platform as a Service, PaaS. This is like getting a pizza delivered. The provider handles the hard parts, the dough, the sauce, the oven. You just add your favorite toppings. And finally, you have Software as a Service, or SaaS. This is like just going out to a pizza restaurant. You don't worry about anything. You just show up and eat the pizza. You're just using the final product.
Okay, so why should you personally care about all this IaaS, PaaS, SaaS stuff? It sounds like jargon, but understanding it is actually super important for anyone working in a modern company.
Because knowing this stuff, it lets you be part of the conversation when your company is choosing new tech. It helps you spot potential security risks. It helps you think about the legal headaches that come with using services that are based all over the world. Bottom line, in a digital world, this knowledge just helps you make smarter decisions.
So, we've gone from this idea of a magical cloud to a very real physical system built on cables, data centers, and big business decisions. Which leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. As more and more of this physical infrastructure gets managed by just a handful of massive companies, who's really holding the keys to our digital future?